Dallas 11-6.
Kept it, I know they would say, he kept the tag applied. He could have kept the tag applied and not straddled homeboy. You know what I mean? He could have moved his leg. So
it was fine. It's just
I'm just saying.
Ramirez
I
just
mean,
had a little.
it wasn't necessary.
Nothing wrong.
He didn't need to get to that extreme. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong.
Bills in a last-second field goal or a last-second touchdown by Aaron Rodgers to take the division.
He's kicking field goals too. I want to bet.
Right?
I want.
Good morning, everybody. Here we go. It played the whole intro, and then it literally played the whole intro. I saw the whole intro, and then it comes in with this bullshit. I don't know why it does this. I don't know why it does this. Why? Every.
I want to bet.
Good. There it goes. Second time we get to the intro. Good morning, folks. Welcome to another great LTS show. I am your host, Bodkins. Man, it is morning. We're coming a little later. We'll go from about 10 to 11. Get your fantasy advice in. So if you have any fantasy questions, shoot us. Hit us in the comment section. We'll give you some advice. We'll break down some of these big matchup games. It is week 5, man. We are almost pretty much a quarter away into the season. We're going to find out in the next 4 weeks who's real and who's not real. We got a little shitty-ass game going on in London. Jags up 11-7 at halftime. So there's that. Man, Packers play on Monday night, so we're excited for that. Couple of these guys that we'll be bringing in. Well, let's go ahead. We'll bring in none other than a guy who's real depressed right now, the way the Miami Hurricanes lost last night. So let's go ahead and bring in Mr. U himself, Johnny Cruz.
What's going on, bro? Unfortunately, after like 30 years of this almost, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to get depressed over shit like this, but that was beyond – that was beyond shitty. That's a horrible way to lose. I'm still a supporter of Mario Cristobal, but that was about as bad as it gets right there. I mean, just take a damn knee and win the game. There's already stuff on social media going around that that he was trying to give Cheney his first 100-yard game. If that's true, that's even worse. Because it's not about that. It's about winning the game. The quarterback played like shit all day, so it was. I mean, that's one of those. You know what I'm saying? Ones that you just sneak by and you look back and like, luckily we got past Georgia Tech, a game that we should have destroyed them. But yet they find a way to just kind of completely give it up at the end there. That's just heartbreaking. And I feel for those people that were in the stands that had to watch that shit. You know what I'm saying? At least I was in the comfort of my own house watching that garbage. But
for those who don't know, we'll break down the context. So Miami's up 20-17 with less than a minute left, I think.
Less than a minute left. It was about 30-something seconds.
No timeouts for Georgia Tech. So all Miami's got to do is kneel it. Just the old victory formation. They decide to give the ball to the running back. He fumbles. Georgia Tech recovers. I don't know 2 plays later. Hail Mary, touchdown pass. Georgia Tech wins. No time left. Miami, what was supposed to be the U's back. They were undefeated up until that point. The U was supposed to be back and is now.
Well, I mean, I've said it before that I never get into the whole U is back. The U ain't back until they competing for national titles. I never get ahead of myself, but that's a effed up way to like just shit on your season. You know what I'm saying? Like you mentioned with 4-0, you know what I'm saying? That the defense has played well all year, the quarterback has played well all year. You wind up having one of those bad games, but you still have a chance to win the game, and you just, you know what I'm saying, you completely just shit the bed right there. Like that's inexcusable. Again, I'm still a Mario Cristobal fan, but that's a pretty hard way to lose, and that's that you quickly lose. The fans lose confidence and faith in you when you do shit like that. So it's a little heartbreaking, but it is what it is. We're here to talk about NFL, so so that's old shit. That was yesterday. It's time to move on, bro.
I mean, today, baby.
Sam just brings himself in and doesn't, just disregards, all, just shows up unannounced, brings himself in. I mean, Sam, top of the morning to you. How's things in Tennessee? Jonathan Taylor back, guaranteed, got paid too, Sam. So how worried you today?
I've handled Jonathan Taylor before. He hasn't really been dominant against us yet. I'm more concerned about AR. I think the Titans know him pretty well already. Not AR, but Jonathan Taylor. I'm more concerned about AR and the things he can do with Jonathan Taylor, if that makes sense.
I've got a little theory in this, Craig. What's going on, Craig? I think the defense was kind of befuddled by what was going on. Like, they thought they won the game. I don't think they expected to have to come out on the field. All of a sudden, they have to come out on the field, and then it's just, you know what I'm saying? It was just one of those brain farts or some shit like that because the defense had played well all night. Again, I don't think they expected to have to go back on the field because nobody expected that. Everybody expected them to take a fucking knee. So that's, I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of as far as the defense letting that receiver get behind him, Craig. But that was hard. But again, we talk about old shit. Stop bringing up old shit.
Are we done with the old shit?
I mean, the only people that had more heartbreaking loss than you, I think that might have been the heartbreaker of the night. But I mean, technically having a heartbreaking loss yesterday too. I mean, they were up 3 with about a minute and a half to go, and Oklahoma just went down and scored a touchdown, game over.
Yep.
So, I was kind of hoping
that at least that was against a ranked team, and you know what I'm saying, even though it's the whole rivalry, I get it. That's heartbreaking in itself. But I mean, we're going up against a team that was 2-3. And just got beat by Bowling Green, like Scott mentioned before the show. Like, you can't lose that game. Even if it's an ugly game and you didn't play well, you escape with a 23-20 loss, 23-20 win, but you got to win that game. You know what I'm saying? And then to lose it in that fashion, that's just ridiculous. That's how you lose recruits, too. That's the sad part. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful with shit like that when it comes to college. So,
you do.
They just got to get back on it and keep going. But yeah, heartbreak. There was a lot of cool games yesterday. A lot of fun day in college football yesterday.
Yeah, let's speaking of college football, let's go ahead and we'll bring in our own Hall of Famer, Mr. Scott Cobe.
If I was there, we wouldn't have lost. Do you believe? You don't believe anymore?
Scott, what's up? Who we betting on today as far as football wise?
So I did a 3-team parlay. I took the Dolphins, Chiefs, Niners on the 3-team parlay. I did another parlay with Dolphins, Chiefs, Niners, and Jamar Chase to get 40 receiving yards today, which with T. Higgins out, that seems like a given to me. And then I went heavy on the Patriots, Saints. First team to 10 could win that game for sure today. Both offenses are terrible. You got I don't know if Derek Carr's starting or not today, but if he is starting, he can't throw it more than 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. So, and Mac Jones can't throw the ball at all. So, and the Jets, I like the Jets up in Denver today. I think the Jets are going to win that game.
Nathaniel Hackett revenge game. I mean, remember if remember the offseason, Peyton, shouted out, saying that Hackett was pretty much an idiot. It was his fault that this team was trash. Well, here we are, quarter into the season. I don't think it was all Hackett's fault there because Sean hasn't got that team off to a great start either. They beat the lowly Bears last week in their first win.
I know the lowly Bears beat the Commanders 40-20 Thursday night, but you were down 28-7 against Chicago and had to come back and win. Yeah. Their defense is historically bad right now. Historically bad. Breece Hall's going to have a huge day today, I think. Breece Hall's going off today. Because if you believe Robert Saleh, he said that the training wheels and the wrap is off Breece Hall. It's time to give him his share of the workload in the backfield. So I think the Jets are going to be up there.
I think for the Jets to win, you got to give Breece and Dalvin Cook, 15 carries a game and keep that game, limit Zach Wilson behind center and that atrocious offensive line. Zach played his best football game maybe of his career last Sunday against the Chiefs. And just hope that defense, the Broncos offense isn't lighting it up either. So let's not tout them as being the Chiefs offense either. So I'm with you, Scott. I think me and you were on the Jets on Thursday's Pick'em show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I took the Broncos. Sorry, I took the Broncos only because I don't trust Zach Wilson at all. But I feel you on that one. This is one of those, have him throw the ball like 10 times and just run the ball 40 something times. You know what I'm saying? Because Denver's defense, like you mentioned, they should be able to run all over them. But I took the Broncos just because, again, I don't trust Zach Wilson. But this could be an ugly game there.
And I also think the Dolphins are gonna just destroy the Giants today. After last week, Miami is mad today. I could see the Dolphins almost shutting them out. Even if Saquon plays today, they got a high school quarterback and running their offense for them. So
I would love to say no doubt Dolphins are going to destroy them, but when you've been scarred by Miami football, I could just say Miami football. I don't even have to specify Dolphins football, but you learn to not get ahead of yourself. I mean, this should be an easy win for the Dolphins, like you mentioned, especially coming off of that embarrassment last week at Buffalo. But I like New York's defensive line. Our offensive line, Teron Armstead isn't going to play. Connor Williams is probably a game time decision. And you saw how our offensive line did last week, against the Bills. So hopefully they can run the ball and stick to the run, like the coach said. And again, it should be an easy 10-point win, in my opinion, at least. But we'll see what happens.
We're getting a couple premieres. I mentioned Jonathan Taylor full go today. Looks like Cooper Kupp full go today. Scott, I'm going to ask you a fantasy question, then we'll kind of compare these two. If you're a Piku Nakua, whatever his name is, are you worried at Cooper Kupp coming back? Do you just play both Piku? Do you play him, or are we sitting Piku?
No, you're playing both. Cooper Kupp's the slot receiver. Nakua's the outside receiver. So I think if anybody is going to be affected by this, it's Tyler Higbee and Tutu Atwell. Those two guys, because I think Stafford has his security blanket back in Cooper Kupp. He's gonna go. They're gonna pepper him with targets today. According to Sean McVay, he's full go, no limiting, no anything. So I have Cooper Kupp in a couple of leagues, and I'm starting him today with confidence. I just think Cooper Kupp is gonna eat today. And Nakua is gonna be good too. You don't just forget a guy who's basically rookie records in the NFL history of what he's done. So they plot for the Kupp, Nakua outside. So if they double Kupp, he's going to go to Nakua. If they double Nakua, which I can't see them doing, he's going to go to Kupp. So
I think he established his relationship already with Nakua. So I don't see that. Going down at all. But CK Landis mentioned it here. Tutu Atwell. He's probably gonna get nothing, like you mentioned.
No,
Scott.
No, I don't think so either. And JT with Jonathan Taylor, this kind of deal worked out for both of them, right? Like he comes back in the building. The coach, I guess maybe they saved, money by the whale dying or whatever, and gave that money to JT. He gets his 3-year contract extension. All parties forgive everything, and now we're ready to go to work. We starting JT in our lineup too, Scott.
No doubt. And you drafted him for a reason. You got to start him. And he's gonna rotate with Zach Moss, but he could be on the right side of the rotation instead of the wrong side of the rotation. So they just paid him. I mean, Jim Irsay all offseason's been, we're not paying him, we're not doing this, we're not doing that. And then you just give him $14 million a year, basically.
Cooler heads prevailed. He said he was going to hold out, right? He shows up after the 4-year, after the sitting out the 4 weeks for the designation on IR or the PUP list, whatever you want to call it. He gets in, says, "Hey, I'm ready to play. We'll do this in the offseason." 2 days later, Jim Irsay came down from a partying with doing things like that. It was like, all right, pay this man his money. So.
And I 1,000,000% agree with Sam. Today is all about stopping Anthony Richardson. Jonathan Taylor, they've seen over and over again. They know what to do. Anthony Richardson's the X factor for Indy today.
I'm excited to see JT in this lineup, though, because we saw what Shane Seichten did with Miles Sanders last year, and JT's 10 times better football player than Miles Sanders. So, I think we'll expect to see not what JT last year, but maybe the JT of 2 years ago, where he led the league in rushing and had over 1,000 yards.
I don't think they can forget about Zach Moss and what he's done so far. I just don't think they can. And I think he's going to get some run today. So I think they're going to running back position more so than wide receiver. You got to ease him back in. And the guy hasn't played in 4 weeks, and he hadn't played half a season last year. So I think you're going to see a lot of Zach Moss.
More? You want more?
Yeah, I think go ahead, Johnny.
No, I was gonna say I was just about to say I'm sure they're gonna ease him in. Zach Moss should get his carries, but I mean, shouldn't your goal be to make sure you stop the run though?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because of what Richardson can do, you know what I'm saying, with his legs, you know what I'm saying, if you let Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss go off, then you're not gonna be able to stop them at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm glad he's back. I'm happy for him. He got his bag. You know what I'm saying? And money always makes stuff, it's easier to forgive when you get paid $14 million a year. You know what I'm saying? So the whole I'm never gonna play for them. Yeah, money go change your mind real quick. So
$14 million says you're gonna pay for play.
Right.
Change your mind.
Right.
What, you want to give me $14 million? I love you, Jim. I love you, Jim.
Right.
Sam, you're muted. You're muted, Sam.
Sam, mute.
Jim Irsay has just got like 8 million calls and text messages for Chris Ballard going, "Hey, bud, really need this guy. Really need you to shape up.
Yeah,
Get off the perk. Help me out a little bit here."
Hey, the Whales didn't make it. Can we save the Colts now? That's, you know what I mean? You tried saving the Whales. Can we save our season and bring your guy in?
I mean, this move for them could make them the division winner.
It could be a season
I like the Texans still. The Jags are still probably could win it. We all picked the Jags, but man, the Texans are coming on. I told you, I think on Thursday, I said my bookie gave me a $10 bet. I placed it all on the Texans. You got one bet to bet $10. I placed it all on the dogs that were the Texans because I think they're going to win that game. I took the point, but I think I would have took the money line even.
Nice. Yeah, no, I like what he's doing with CJ as well. But yeah, I mean, if Indianapolis could get things going, Jacksonville, I mean, can you really trust Jacksonville? I mean, they're holding on to a 4-point lead right now in London, but yeah, I mean, they haven't exactly been world beaters so far.
The Texans beat them outright just 2 weeks ago. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they haven't looked great. I think, what about this? I could see a scenario, Moss, Taylor, and Richardson all in the backfield at the same time. That old Navy wishbone type offense, triple option. How dangerous could that be? If they go that route, because we know all three of those guys can run. Zach Moss seems to find a home after doing nothing in Buffalo.
We did it against the Chargers, if people remember. Spears on the left hip, Henry on the right, and it led to a Ryan Tannehill almost walking in clean to the end zone.
Yeah, I think you could see a red zone package or something like that. What do you think, Scott?
Yeah,
I agree, and they have the right coach there in Shane Steichen, who was with Philadelphia last year, to do something like that. He's one of the top offensive minds in the NFL. I think you're going to see Zach Moss line up a fullback at some positions and Taylor at running back, or vice versa. So,
yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, they could honestly run a version of the Wildcat, but you got a quarter. You know what I'm saying? You got Anthony Richardson that could actually throw the ball from the position as well. So, it's gonna be interesting how they use them. I mean, they've been doing a good job of using Anthony Richardson, with what he does best. Obviously, it's his legs, but I mean, he's been making some good throws. He needs to learn how to get down though and not take unnecessary hits, but. It's gonna be interesting to see, to start the season, I had no desire to watch the Colts at all. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, they're gonna suck. You know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about them. Now it's like, you know what I'm saying? I kind of want to see what happens with them and what they do. So it's definitely bringing some eyeballs to the TV as far as the Colts are concerned.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. One of the more intriguing, especially early matchup games this morning. Sam, is your Titans and Colts both 2-2. Both trying to, stake claim in this division. If the Jags, lose today, that's their third loss, I think.
Yeah, I think everybody's 2-2, no?
Yeah. So yeah. So interesting matchup, Sam. I know you said you feel confident about the Titans, but the rest of this division's kind of jumbled up here. The Titans got a chance.
Yeah, no, they totally do. It's rather than not, they seize it. Freaking Vrabel of all people, it's like if he doesn't have enough film on a player, he loses the game. So like, I've seen it before with like rookie coaches and rookie quarterbacks. Like, Cliff Kingsbury walked into Nashville and pretty much kicked our butt up and down the field, and it was like, I it was ridiculous to lose that game because everybody thought in a million years that Vrabel was going to outsmart Kingsbury. But man, we played horrible. Taylor Lewan gave up 5 sacks, which keeps being brought up by a certain defensive end. Yeah, he has these knack to drop these games for some reason. So I'm timid or whatnot, but I'm also hopeful that they know this is a division game and they know they have to take care of business. And usually he gets them up for those games.
Yeah, because if you lose a game in your division,
it's like losing twice.
Twice, right? Like they own the tiebreaker, especially with everybody jumbled up as it is. Everybody's 2-2. We'll see if the Jags can hold on here in advance, and then the Texans got Atlanta today. A game I think give me the Texans all day. So like this NFC or AFC South division, which we all shit on, really both South divisions we shit on, but they're kind of intriguing. Nobody's going to run. It doesn't seem like anybody wants to win this thing in the first quarter of the season or running away with it.
Yeah, and then the other thing with the AFC South is, and I don't know if Sam agrees, they're going to get one playoff team out of that division probably. I don't see a wild card team coming from that. So I think the winning of the division is ultra important to these 4 teams. So.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. In another game, I really feel like too. To me, I talked about a little bit of this on Thursday. Is that black and blue game? The Ravens Steelers, always a fun matchup. Doesn't matter. Kenny Pickett is playing, but he's going to be limited. I don't know if I'm comfortable with Pittsburgh running out a hobbled Kenny Pickett. I know this Ravens defense isn't the vaunted rate is, your daddy's defense, Ravens defense, or even our Ravens defense, I guess. But it's still pretty damn good defense. And here they are, the Steelers in a kind of a must-win type of game early on into the season.
Matt Canada is awful as a coordinator. What the heck is he going to do today with Kenny Pickett who can't move? He can't move. It's like
why
Joe
even
Burrow.
play him? Like that don't make no sense. Why even play him?
No
if
idea.
he's hobbled at all, I mean, I know you got Mitchell Trubisky, but again, you signed Mitchell Trubisky to be the backup. But
yeah,
I mean, if you're gonna put your quarterback out there, he can't move around, he can't defend himself. Exactly like you said, Scott. Just like Joe Burrow. I think the Bengals might have ruined their entire season because of that, to be quite honest. But I'm all over the Ravens in this one. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's on the road, and I know that these division games are always close. We got it at 4.5. Say for the Ravens.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna put it on the Steelers, man. I think this may be Mike Tomlin's first losing season, if I'm gonna be completely honest, man. Because it's not like Kenny was balling out when he was healthy.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's the question: if they lose today to the Ravens, do you think Matt Canada is fired because they get a bye week next week?
Nah, they're not going to do that. I think they did something with him. Gave him like quarterback coach duties too. Mike Tomlin's not going to fire anybody during the regular season. Pittsburgh doesn't fire anybody in the regular season.
Yeah, I know that.
You know what I mean? Like that's not who they are. That's not how they handle business. Unfortunately, maybe they should give the play call into somebody else other than Matt Canada, and say, hey, you're going to be our new play caller. But I don't know. Man, the Steelers, Najee is awful. Like he can't find the hole. Warren looks better. Pickett is banged up. I would probably go with Mitch Trubisky. I'm not saying Trubisky the world beater, but I think he's probably better than a half hobbled Kenny Pickett. And this is a must win game. And the Ravens, outside of that stinker that they kind of played against the Colts, have looked pretty dang good and legit, as a new formed offense, and that defense is still, while not, the Ray Lewis or even Terrell Suggs type Ravens defense, they're still pretty dang good.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and you're now going to be, if you lose to Baltimore today, 2 games out. In essence, it's 3 games because you lose the tiebreaker to the Ravens. So and you're 6 weeks into the season because they're not playing next week. So they'll be 6 weeks into the season and either 3.5 games behind the Ravens or 2.5 games. So
Yeah,
you
no
have
Pat
to,
Fairmouth either. Muth is out for a
Yeah.
couple weeks as well. So,
yeah,
I mean,
they're in desperate. No Deontay, no Fryermuth. Najee's been terrible. No, I don't think they're going to win. No chance. No chance.
yeah, I'm kind of with you on that, Scott, too. I'm kind of just looking at some of these other matchups. In the later game, we kind of talked a little bit about that Jets Broncos. Both these teams 1-3, but it's a game you kind of want to tune in just because of the Nathaniel Hackett revenge game.
Yeah. Totally. Who sucks
Yeah, no.
worse too?
Who sucks worse?
I think
Guys,
the
did
Broncos suck
you
worse.
know? Did you know if somebody wears an Among Us costume, it scares the piss out of twin girls? As this one currently has a death grip around my neck. Oh god!
Just choking you out. It's choking you out like I said.
Yeah.
Get choked
Tap
out last
tap
time.
tap 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 tap.
He's tapping out.
Another surprise game. I mean, you mentioned, Johnny, about Joe Burrow. Here he is again. He's going to start today. The 1-3 Bengals versus the 1-3 Cardinals. Who would have thought? And to me, the Cardinals look like the better team. I mean, that spread's now down to -3. But to me, just the Cardinals look like the team that's just less talented, but just man, they play
They're
fucking hard.
scrappy. They're scrappy.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it on Thursday. You know, the coach has that team ready to play. They fight every game. You know, they don't have the most talent on the team, but they all come together and everybody's playing hard. So props to the coach down in Arizona. Like, I don't even know his name, to be quite honest. But he's got those guys ready to play. They play hard, and again, if Joe Burrow is not 100%,
Jesus,
why are you risking this kid? I guess something's going on.
Something going on.
Yeah.
If I'm
Trevor
the
Lawrence fumbled it, and then the Bills somehow the ball is bouncing the Jags' way because somehow the Bills, about 5 Bills players went after that football, and not a single one of them. It was a high snap.
It wound up going out of bounds.
Lawrence gets it. Then he looks like he's trying to throw. He fumbles it. It bounces off a Bills player. Jacksonville, 3 Bills players and a Jacksonville player, and the ball rolls out of bounds. It's going Jacksonville's way, at least. I mean, I don't know how they didn't get that.
So if I'm the Arizona defensive coordinator, this is what I'm doing. I'm triple covering Jamar Chase, rushing forward Burrow, and saying, okay, tight end and wide receiver 2 beat us. That's what I'm doing. Jamar Chase is getting triple teamed all over the field. He's the only one that Burrow can throw to with confidence.
Did you see the picture I sent in our chat?
Yeah.
Of the Titans. I mean, they didn't have anyone in the A gap, and they just wrecked them. And they played that almost the entire game. Like they were.
And that's what I do today too. I double chase, and then I would blitz Burrow.
I was just about to say, I would put pressure on. He can't move. He can't protect himself.
No,
so I would come after him every freaking play. I would double chase, just like Nick said, and just bring pressure every down until he proves that he could get away from it.
And the other thing I'm going to tell people is this: they say Burrow is fine. He full participated in practice. You got to see it on the field first in game conditions.
They all said he's not 100% though either. You know what I mean? Like he's not 100% playing.
He's not.
You know,
he's not.
Yeah.
Again, that's why I never understood that. Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why they didn't just let him sit the first 4 games. Hopefully he, you know,
the record's probably the same, right? The record's probably the same.
Right.
But
now it's gonna drag on most of the season now.
Is it?
This
Could be one of the things.
bonus.
Do you think this could be one of the things where you need to save the player from himself and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, dude, I know, I get it.
Right.
You want to compete, you want to do it, but you can't. You just can't right now.
Yeah.
Get better.
Probably-
Focus on getting better."
they probably have the same record if he does sit and you just wait for him to come back and pull, and then today he's playing and he's 90% healthy. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So
Yeah, completely agree with that.
They lose today. They're done. They're done. It's over. It's
Well,
I was about to say, I think Tanner already said it's over.
You can be
for them.
different.
what do they got? They got 2 division losses, right? They've lost to the Ravens and the Browns.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
as my daughter jumps on my bladder. Ugh.
No.
What-
Sam's in trouble.
Hey, this is what Joe Burrow's going to be today because he can't move. Just slammed by people. Oh, golly.
Let me ask you guys this, and it's really not like your ups. I guess kind of what's your upset special where you're like, hey, this team, this is a team, a dog that could win today.
Cardinals, they smell blood in the water. Hey, come on. Go get that win.
Yeah, I
Take
picked
it
them
from
on Thursday. I picked them on Thursday to win this game.
I'm talking money line, Johnny, not just straight winning, not spread wise.
I think they could win the game. I mean, they're at home. Yeah. I mean, and I like, I don't know how much of an upset it would be, but I like the Rams at home against the Eagles.
That's the one I was thinking too, Johnny.
Right.
To me, Cooper Kupp's back. The Rams, the Rams have hung in some games here, folks. Like the Eagles haven't looked. They haven't looked
dominant.
great. Even
they haven't looked dominant.
Yeah. Even their coach said, "Hey, we're really not supposed to be playing our best football right now. We want to make sure we're doing that on the back end of the season." And they're not. They're barely squeaking by. I mean, they're undefeated, but man,
the weird part to me is they're fundamentally not taking care of the football.
Right.
Holding it right, putting it in the other arm. They're not doing those things. And so bad things keep happening. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, and the offense just doesn't look as crisp as it did last year. You know what I'm saying? So they're doing what they got to do. They're finding ways to win games, so you got to give them credit for that. But yeah, I think they're ready to take an L, especially in LA. You mentioned Cooper Kupp being back, so I can see the Rams. I can see the Rams honestly putting it on the Eagles. I'm not going to say they will, but I can see an easy touchdown win for the Rams. The defense has been playing better as well, so yeah, I like that one there.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Rams came out a lot of 2-minute drives that just started speeding them. Just boat racing them.
So here's what I would say why they're not going to do that. Stafford his hip is completely shot right now. He's really in a bad way. So I would think that the quarterback is not going to allow them to be in 2 minutes. But I agree with you, Sam. They should just come out and be aggressive against the Eagles and say, "Hey, look, we're here to play. We got our stud back. We're going to throw the ball all over the place.
We're going to set the tone here, not you. We're going to set the tone."
Right.
Yeah.
There is one game that kind of, and I know it's a stretch, Carolina over Detroit. No St. Brown, no Gibbs today.
Yeah.
Their offense is totally decimated with talent. You beat Detroit last year when Detroit was on a roll.
That game's 9 points by Carolina right now, or 9 points.
Can they do it again? I don't know because Detroit's
Bryce Young. I got to see
really
something
well
from
right
Bryce
now,
Young first. I got to see something.
too.
He's not looked great at all. If Andy Dalton was playing, I would probably say, yeah. I'll tell you what, though, Scott. It seems like Adam Thielen's turned back the clockwise. If you got Adam Thielen in fantasy, you got to steal there because he has been killing it.
Yeah, I picked him up in a couple of leagues after week 2 because I needed a wide receiver because I was having some injuries, and he's been everything I've wanted and more. But it's strange that Carolina is now saying they're trying to find a number 1 wide receiver. They want to trade for a stud. What do they have left to trade? Number 1, number 2.
Yeah.
I'd watch Cincinnati and T. Higgins. I'd watch the T. Higgins situation very closely. If they lose today, do they think they're out of it, or do they think they got something left? And
if the Cardinals win, they become like America's team. You think, you know what I mean? They're very likable. I'm just saying. I'm kind of still rooting for them. I mean, I like me some Josh Dobbs. Don't get me wrong, but I like a good scrappy team that's picked to lose and then stays in games. It's a fun watch.
Yeah.
Here's my question with the Cardinals. Kyle is back in the next 2 weeks.
I wouldn't.
No, I've read that they don't even think that they still plan not to play him at all.
I mean, why risk it?
How much money is getting flushed down the toilet?
Yeah, but if Dobb honestly gets you to 4-3, why would you want to mess with that? You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
At that point, I would leave it alone. I was gonna say, Sam, when you mentioned the whole Americans team, that Cowboy fans are gonna come hunting for you.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Don't
They're,
forget
but they're
now.
not America's
Right.
team anymore. We did a whole poll. It was
I know.
Denver. Like,
Right.
why are we still talking about this?
Don't forget
No
now.
one likes
when
you
Kyler
anymore.
comes back, what have we seen in the last 2 years when Kyler can't run? He's not a good
Right.
quarterback. He's very
Right.
bad. He's not going to be able to run.
Saquon's out officially.
Mhm.
Giants are not going
Goodbye,
to
Giants.
in today's
Goodbye,
game against the
Giants.
Dolphins.
Turn out
High
the
ankle
lights.
sprain.
The party's over.
He's getting
Johnny.
closer, according to Ian
Rest easy,
Rappaport.
Johnny. Rest easy, Johnny. There's no way the Giants are going to even
Again, after that shit I saw last night, I as a Miami football fan, you can't rest easy. Unfortunately, like I said, it should be an easy 10-point win. I mean, I almost took the Giants to cover because it's freaking 12.5. But I mean, Miami should honestly win by at least 2 touchdowns.
I think
Yeah,
someone's
let me
paying
ask
Judy
you.
to strangle me.
Let me ask you, and I'm being totally honest with a smile on my face. Who's better defensively, Denver or the Giants?
Oh, geez. I'm gonna say Denver, and
And
I just
Miami
think-
put 70 on Denver.
I was
Yeah.
going to say the Giants because of that defensive line. You know what I'm saying? I would say, Thibodeau, they got Dexter Lawrence, you know what I'm saying? They got some guys on that defensive line. So I would want to say the Giants, but that's a good one there, man. I guess that's a flip of a
Good
coin
question.
right there. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And Miami just put 70 on them 2 weeks ago on Denver.
Right.
If the
Right.
Giants are worse than Denver defensively, oh my God. Oh,
Right. I
my
mean,
God.
and you mentioned too, you said they're coming off of that bad loss at Buffalo. They're home. So it should be an easy 2-touchdown win, but I think Miami was favored by like 20 something over Georgia Tech yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
19 and a half.
yeah.
I should know because I bet Miami to win.
Did you? Sorry about that, bro. Sorry about that. I
Hey,
could have
Scott,
warned you,
I
bro.
can finally
Don't
get
bet.
that.
Don't bet on them, bro. Don't bet on
Hey
them.
Scott, I can finally get that raspy voice you want. Just have Judy stranglehold me here.
How you doing, Sam?
How you doing,
What's going
Scott?
on?
Yeah. Oh. Honey, it was
Johnny, I
just
meant
a
to ask you,
costume.
how do you feel about and I don't understand the trade, the Chase Claypool, the Dolphins going and get a guy who's been kicked out of not one but 2 organizations now, shipped out of town. He's on his 3rd team in a year.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of
Wow.
the Dolphins going to get Chase Claypool?
Well, I mean, this is
Rich
one of
get
those
richer?
I want to take a shower because it's just type shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I understand it. Eric Ezukama's hurt. River Craycraft is hurt, so we're kind of down some wide receivers. So I understand it, and it's low hanging fruit. I mean, they basically got him for a bag of chips. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think a 2025 6th-round pick, and we got a 7th-round pick back. So we basically got him for nothing. So this is one of those, he's 6'4", 230 something. So he's completely different than all the other wide receivers. Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, they're all the shorter, speedier guys. So you got a big body there. I don't expect nothing from him.
I said use him like a tight end in the,
Right.
like the Sicky type.
Red zone, red zone type shit. Stuff like that. Like I said, I don't expect a lot from the kid, but maybe in that room with Tyreek, Waddle, maybe they can kind of get, let him know, you ain't gonna get that many more chances. Maybe being on a good team, he might, you know what I'm saying?
He was on a
Like I
good
said,
team in Pittsburgh, and
Pittsburgh was good.
right. You
when he
know
was-
what I'm saying? And then some people talk about that he didn't want to play in the cold weather. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I wasn't thrilled about it.
He went to fucking school at Notre Dame, so he's played in
Right.
cold weather. You know what I mean? So it's not like he, you know what I mean?
I think people are just trying to figure out a way to like be okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to give up nothing for him, so I don't care. You know what I'm saying? If he catches a couple touchdowns that we win a game, cool. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like I expect much from him.
So what does it say? Why even bring in a Robbie Anderson, a Robbie Chosen? If you just
I
go,
forgot he's on the roster. I forgot he's on the roster.
Well, because he
he's
really
practice but
right. He really wanted to be on a team. I mean, Robbie Chosen didn't really want to go nowhere else. He wanted to play for Miami, but apparently he's having an issue picking up the offense.
oh
So
yes,
that's
okay.
what
Okay.
the issue is with him.
Okay.
Similar to Cedric Wilson. You know what I'm saying? They gave Cedric Wilson a nice contract
Before
before they made the Tyreek
Tyreek.
Hill trade. You know what I'm saying? And he's been having an issue, grasping the offense as well. So That's one thing about Mike. If you don't know what you're doing out there, he ain't gonna put you on the field. You know what I'm saying? So that's there's so many like option routes.
Pull out on the field either. Then
no, that's what I'm saying. I don't expect much. Like I said, they may run specific packages like you mentioned for him in the red zone and shit like that, but I don't expect much from him at all. And I wouldn't be surprised, depending on his mentality going in and what he's willing to do or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of those after a couple of weeks they wound up cutting him or some shit like that. But like I said, it was they basically got him for free. And he's a big body wide receiver that they don't have on the team right now because of Eric Ezukama getting hurt. And again, Robbie Chosen's taller, but he's not exactly a big dude. Chase Claypool can block, you know what I'm saying? And they like their wide receivers that can block as well. So I understand why they did it. And I know, there's a lot of people out there, oh, why are you picking up wide receiver? We need offensive linemen. Well, they ain't offensive linemen out there, you know what I'm saying, to get.
There's not.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so, you know what I'm saying, that don't make no sense either. But again, I understand why they did it. I don't expect much from him though, but like I said, if he come through with a couple touchdowns for us throughout the season, I'll take it, man.
Yeah.
So guys,
go ahead, Scott.
Here's a thought. What is the front office's mindset? Do they think they can make the championship game this year, Johnny?
I think they do.
Yeah.
They got to, yeah.
That's why they brought Fangio in. They know that the defense is going to take a little time to get used to his system, but they made a trade for Bradley Chubb last year. You know what I'm saying? They made a trade for Ramsey this offseason. No, he has. I mean, if you look at it, which I've had to tell Dolphin fans too, because everybody's shitting on him, you can see that he affects the way the offensive line blocks the defensive. You know what I'm saying? He's getting more. So there's opportunities for Jalen Phillips, Christian Wilkins. They just haven't been taking advantage of it.
What you're saying. It's
right. It's more than just a stat line. He's been doing a good job as far as getting pressures, and again, he affects the way the offensive line plays our defensive line. Jalen Phillips has been out the last few weeks, so we haven't had him. But I get it. And he's definitely not worth the $30 million or whatever he's getting paid right now. But I expect this defense to slowly get better as as they get more comfortable in this defense. But no, they are all in, bro. They are all in.
All right, so here's why I asked this, Johnny. Cincinnati loses today and goes to 1-4. Do you think the Dolphins call Cincinnati and ask about T. Higgins?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
To have three wide receivers like that, you got your backfield set with Achon and Mostert and Wilson, okay, when he comes back. Why wouldn't you call and ask him about T. Higgins? Because then you're all in.
Because they're not going to want to give up nothing for him. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to – if they're going to give up draft picks for anything, it's going to be for an offensive lineman, a defensive lineman, something like that. They're not going to trade for a wide receiver. Like I said, they took the chance with Claypool because it was basically for nothing. You know what I mean?
For nothing.
In 2 years. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to – and I don't think T. Higgins is what they – you know what I'm saying? I don't think – it's not like if they get T. Higgins, it's like, oh shit, yep, we're Super Bowl bound now. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna make that much of a difference, in my opinion, to like, you know what I'm saying? If it was a Jonathan Taylor or if it was like a stud defensive type, you know what I'm saying? If Aaron Donald or some crazy shit like that, a defensive lineman that can put pressure on the quarterback was available, that would be more of what they need because this defense is all about getting pressure with their front four, and they haven't been able to do it. And as far as Christian Wilkins wanted the $20-something million a year, like Quentin Williams and Anthony Simmons. Yeah, nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't play like they do. You know what I'm saying? You don't put pressure on the quarterback. So you know what I'm saying? You're a good run stopper, which he's not even been doing good at that this year. But he's a run stopping defensive tackle. You're not going to get $20+ million. So and he's losing money every game, Every game his thing is going down and down.
Real quick before we we'll do the ad read and then our final goodbyes. So we got some more inactives. Actives: Jonathan Taylor, Ramondre Stevenson's full go, Odell Beckham's full go. Welcome to the NFL season. Jamison Williams, remember he got suspended. That suspension got reduced. He is now playing, so maybe he'll take some of that. Amon St. Brown, who's out, Jahmyr Gibbs out, and Justice Hill is in for the Ravens. So
for fantasy people, I'll give you a name to watch. Khalif Raymond. He's Amon St. Brown's backup. He
love that guy.
Sometimes plays big in situations like this and catches a deep one. I wouldn't be surprised if
He
Jared Goff looked for him.
sneakily gets open too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially on clutch plays.
I picked him up this morning in a high stakes league and he's plugged in for Amon-Ra St. Brown because I have a sneaky suspicion that Detroit is going to look for him a lot early in the game today. So.
We'll get to our ad read, then our final thoughts, and we'll get out of here and get ready to watch some football. It looks like, who just got hurt? Was that Josh, or that was somebody else that got hurt? Somebody was down for the Bills. I thought it was
a message came across the top of my phone that said Bills players are dropping like flies. So something's going on.
They are. Matt Milano's out, and it looks pretty serious. So that's a big blow to the Bills. Bills are
out.
Yeah, they're getting. Yeah, Matt Milano hurt, and looks like it could be multiple weeks here.
I want a player to come forward, not to say it's the turf, but to say this is what trips to England do to us. Look at that.
Right.
I mean, they're playing on grass, so it ain't the turf.
Yeah, they'll find something. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Well, it's the trips to England.
I had to eat haggis while I was over here.
Nobody. The thing of it is nobody asked for this. I don't. I'm not a big like let's go to Europe and play type. I just not.
Your wife isn't either.
Before you go to the ad read, that field in London is awful. Awful.
Oh, yeah,
it always has been and always will be. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It really is.
I do think it's there.
And Chiefs and Dolphins are there next week.
I think it's great.
No, they're in Germany.
Yeah, they're in Germany in a couple. That's like 3 or 4 weeks down.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, next week is what the Ravens or somebody or Jaguar or not Jaguars. Your Titans, aren't your Titans over there next week?
Yeah, Titans and Ravens. Yeah, next week.
I like the early morning. 9 o'clock. There's one game on. I do like that.
I don't like where it is. Don't like where it is though.
Yeah, I don't like the overseas. I don't like how it takes away a home game away from
scum
season from fans. The home, you know what I mean? Like I get it.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like
we are the world.
And Johnny said it's all about money, and it is. Right. But hey, there's they're not bringing Europe's not. MCL Milan or whatever fucking soccer shit's not coming over here, and we're not watching their shit. You know what I mean? So, So that nonetheless,
we're filthy Yanks. We're not refined enough for that sport.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. Kudos to all the guys that stay up late and watch football. Like I always say, kudos to all these guys.
Yeah, true that, bro.
We'll see who needs who when World War III starts. Europe.
That might be coming quicker than sooner, Sam.
Right? Yeah, I know. Right? I know. Yeah. I went a little dark there, okay, but it was still funny.
Let's get to our ad read here. When our community wins with us, we want to ensure you've maximized your return on investment. Line shopping for the best odds matter, and that is why any profitable sports bettor needs to be using multiple sports books. Thankfully, there has never been a better time to get signed up, and we are here to connect you with best promotions industry-wide. Using our link, signupexpert.com/let's talk. You can get access to all the sports books in your region, along with review of each platform and the unique features. Most importantly, this page automatically connects you to the top promotion at each book, allowing us to start line shopping with an enhanced bankroll. If you want to take advantage of these benefits and support our brand, please consider signing up for your next sports book at signupexpert.com/let's talk. All right, let's get to our final thoughts, Johnny. We'll start with you since you're all still butthurt about the U losing last night.
No, I don't even know. I already forgot about it. It's in the past, bro. I don't talk about old stuff.
He's Rafiki from Lion King.
Like Tanner would say, it's over. I'm excited for a good week of a good day of football, I should say. Dolphins got a lot to prove here. Again, I don't care about the 12.5 points. Just win the freaking game. It's a big matchup there, but it should be some fun games. So I'm looking forward to that. Shout out to Tanner. I hope I hope his team is doing all right out there on the field. And props to and much love for all that he's doing for us, behind the scenes and stuff. Big shout out to Dan Harris, of course, and just looking forward to the games and looking forward to hopefully having some happy discussions later on tonight when we do the post game shows.
Go ahead, Scott. You got any final thoughts?
Somebody want to let the Bills know that they're hosting a game in London this morning because they have not shown up and played at all, other than Stephon Diggs, who has 6 catches for 101 yards. Other than that, they haven't done anything today. It's really a poor display. They
Both
didn't
teams.
leave. Jacksonville was sitting there waiting for them. Buffalo didn't leave until Thursday night. They didn't get there until Friday morning. That's a mistake. It's a total mistake, and it shows because they only had 7 points against the Jacksonville team. As Sam, who's getting choked out now, will say, Jacksonville hasn't been very good this year so far. They have really not. So
it's 11-7.
Yeah. It was 11-0 in the first 10 minutes of the game. Jacksonville scored 11 and haven't done anything since. And Buffalo just has not shown up. And
it's just bad football, folks. It's bad football.
Yeah.
We're showing London bad football.
Right.
These London games, and this was supposed to be a marquee matchup for the NFL. These London games have not been great for the NFL. So.
Dude just took out a fucking guy on the Bills team. I don't know. He was just standing there. Did you see it watching? He got taking the fuck out.
You gotta have your head on a swivel, boy, when you're on that sideline.
Agnew just bulldozed and the guy just took it.
But before Sam goes, the Bills are losing defensive guys like flies now, so they're in trouble. They're going to be in trouble if Milano's up.
Von Miller's supposed to be coming back though. Vaughn's supposed to be back.
He's playing this morning. He's active.
Is he playing active?
He's active. I don't know how many snaps he's getting, but he is active. But Milano, that's a big loss, bro.
Yeah, he's the lead
loss for Buffalo.
Yeah, man, and he's a stud. As much as he irritates me because he straddles that line of dirty and and tough play or whatever, but he's a hell of a player, bro. You know what I'm saying? His instincts at middle linebacker, that's what you want in your middle linebacker, man. So that's a big loss.
To me, your middle linebacker is supposed to be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good, but a little dirty. You know what I mean? Like
right. Yeah.
You don't got to be like Bill Romanowski dirty, but just
right. Yeah.
You got to be a little grimy. You know.
And Buffalo lost the home game in Buffalo
dog.
because of this game. This is Buffalo's home game. They've lost one of their home games. So.
Yeah. I mean, if they take this L too, that's another conference loss. Like shit's gonna be tight as far as standings at the end of the season. So a conference loss like this, you know what I'm saying, that it could wind up hurting them at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It could wind up giving Kansas City home field or whatever. I mean, Kansas City didn't look great last week. I expect them to get it, turned around or whatever. But every loss matters.
They got the lowly Vikings today.
Let's just put it this way. For all the work Buffalo did last week in beating Miami, lose this game this morning, that's gone for naught. It's gone for naught.
Jacksonville's got to have this game, though, too. Like, Jacksonville can't afford to lose a game to the Chiefs and the Bills. So, like, let's not sit here and shit on like, they need this game just as much, too, because they have they can't afford to go 2-3.
Right.
They do.
I'm with you there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Sam, you're up, bro.
Oh, I can breathe. Yeah. She goes, toys, and gets off of me. I'm like, the toys that have been here for hours. Anyway. Football's exciting up, big division game for me. The AFC South, as far as I'm concerned, is wide open at this point. I think everybody's got a shot at it, and I guarantee you that's what Vrabel is teaching his players right now. Hey, you've got a shot. You just got to do it, execute. And I think we can relate a lot of that to life. It's like, you have goals, you want to do your best to try to execute them. And I think a lot of people fall short on that. Reach for the stars. If you don't reach them, at least you tried.
True that. This has been another great show. We'll be back tonight, 8 o'clock. I guess we're going at 7, huh? 7 Central, 9, 8 Eastern. We can go at 7. That's fine. So we'll give out our dogs and turds of the week. We got one question here.
I was about to say this should be an easy one here, right?
Brees Hall, or Madison in full PPR. I'm going Brees Hall here.
Brees Hall. Yep.
Absolutely.
No question.
Yep.
No question.
Yeah, that Kansas City defense has been playing well too. So you know what I'm saying? Definitely Brees Hall. He's against that Broncos defense. Yeah. We're all in on the Brees Hall.
You gotta look at game script too. Yeah, you gotta look at game script too. Jets are gonna want to run the ball a ton. So
yeah, and the Vikings should be down, and Kirk Cousins be slinging it, I think, against the Chiefs. I don't know. It depends on which Chiefs team we get. But we'll be back tonight, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock Central, 8 Eastern. We'll kind of talk about all the games and happenings of today, give out some dogs and turds of the week. Be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. You guys know what to do. Join our Discord. Join our signupexpert.com/let's talk. So let's go. Have a hell of a day, folks. Let's win some fantasy games. Hopefully your team wins.
baby.
Hopefully your fantasy team wins. It's me and Sam. Me and Sam are duking it out, I believe, in LTS league. Is it me versus me?
Sweet.
Yep, I'm going up against Rob, which I'll see late tonight after that Cowboys San Francisco game, man. It's gonna be fun. It'll be a good day.
So let's get out of here, folks. Hopefully all your fantasy team wins. Hopefully your football team wins. Let's go. Johnny, hit that outro. Let's get out of here. Have a football day, folks.
Bye-bye.
One life better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No, not